Hi everybody, my name is Luis Vargas and now I'm going to talk about validation forms. In this occasion we're going to create a simple validation form inside a tab, the tab that we created in past videos. So that in here I'm going to add this validation form inside one of those tabs. By the moment I'm going to add it directly. This is the tab container relation center. Okay, I'm going to add it directly to the middle one. So in here I'm going to add a simple form. So I'm going to say form and then I'm going to say data Dojo type equal to digit slash form digit, and finally I'm just going to finish this, and inside the content I'm going to add some variables, not some variables, some fields in fact, but I will also I'm just going to add the input form, input, and I'm going to say data Dojo type. I'm going to say digit form slash validation textbox. Not but just textbox by the moment, textbox, and I'm going to pass the title. In HTML, title means the tooltip, but I think that in that case it's not going to work. But if the digit form digit field is inside a container, title is also the label. So that's something that I don't like, in fact, because it should be title or tooltip, and it should be also what's the name? It should be also a label attribute, but that's not. So I'm going to say here first name. This one is not going to have any validations. This is a simple text box. And here, okay, I'm just going to put his first name without the colon. And in here I'm going to say name. This name is going to be useful first to get the value from any object set to the form. I think that's it. And it's in here, and I'm just going to run to see how it looks. Oh, it's not, sorry, it's F6 to run, or just clicking in here. That's something that I like from NetBeans. I just need to one click and run, one click and build, one click and build and clean and build, sorry, one click debugging. And in Eclipse I need to do more than one click, and it's not, it even doesn't open the browser directly like in NetBeans. I think that IntelliJ also has that plugin, so I'm going to see in the middle. So we have one input, and if we have the tooltip that says first name, so that's not a problem at all. But if we want to convert this, okay, we can also see if we have warnings, and of course that we are going to have warnings like that container, border container, all of them wouldn't be added to the required instead. So I'm just going to copy all of them except those two, because I'm not going to do in that place. In fact, I'm going to move that, so I'm going to put that in here, and now I'm just going to say quote unquote quote that's it. So that's it. Okay, and for the form and for the text box, I'm going to create a new view, because if we continue adding to this view is going to increase its size and it's going to be too difficult to maintain. That's why we need another view. So I'm going to cut this. I'm going to create a new view in here called validation form, both HTML and JavaScript. And also a JavaScript file. Oops. Validation form. Now I'm just going to define, like in the other one. That's why I'm going to open and copy everything. But although I'm not going to use everything, I'm just going to copy. I'm just going to copy everything and just delete it later. And then I'm not going to use this on-digit clip mixins. I'm not going to need it. This I do. This I think no. What I'm going to need is the. Let me see. No, I'm just going to need the form. Yeah, I'm going to need the form validation. Form. Sorry. Form/form. This one is not needed because this form inherit everything from templated mixin, so it's not needed. This one is needed because this form doesn't have this widget in templated mixin, and this one is also needed, but by the way, this Dojo text means that it's bringing text from the server and using this path. And finally, this button I don't need it also right now. I don't, maybe in the future. I'm just going to eliminate this one, and this one is going to be form. So this one is going to be form in here. This one doesn't exist, this one is not needed, this one either, and this one not enough. Okay, now I don't need all of this because I don't need. Okay, and I just need those. Declare form widgets and template. Okay, and that's my form declaration, and in here I'm going to create the form or the template for the form. So I'm going to go. Oh, what did I copy? I'm going to copy. Oops. Okay, I'm going to make it because I lose it. I'm going to copy everything. So I'm going to say form, but I also should say data dojo attach point. If I don't do that, these forms cannot be overridden or cannot be instantiated or templated, in fact, attach point, and this cost me like 1 week of of understand how does that works. So the container node shouldn't be overridden, and also I'm going to put what is going to be inside that container node. By the moment we had say that I'm going to put a validation text box. In that case, instead of the text box that we had before, I'm going to put a validation text box that has the first name and is required. So I'm going to save everything, Ctrl+Shift+S, and in here I'm going to say div data dojo type. I'm going to say app slash views slash validation form. Okay, so let's see our UI, and it's not working because it's no go widget. Let me see if I did something stupid. No, I didn't. Oh yes, this one's fierce, it's not fierce, it's validation form. And I think that I did it in the ground. No, it's okay. Now it's okay. And now we have our validation form in a tab, and it's in a different folder, in a different file. Now as is empty, it says required, and it says the value is this value is required. So I think, let me see, this, yes, we can also pass an message or invalid message. If we don't like the message that by default message, for example, enter first name, oh, it does, I don't remember exactly now. Okay, it doesn't matter. Invalid message. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's do it later. And then I also going to add a container in here. I'm going to add one that is called layout table container, which is an experimental one. But I'm going to add it because it's just the samples has this data dojo type equal to dojo's experimental layout and table container. And I'm going to say data dojo props equal calls or the number of columns calls 1. So in here and here I'm going to say slash tip, I'll shift F to format, and that's it. And now we are going to be able to see our labels in this view. And it said invalid, this value is required. And now we also need to add this validation form because it's being required to the main view or to the index.html. And so in here, just going to copy. So since this one is being too long, I'm going to separate in several lines. So that as you can see, this one it's only for requiring fields, not for instantiating them. And without this parse onload true, you cannot do the parsing. And now, okay, and for the validation form we also need, it says what is the, it's also important to instantiate those require those values, because when when minifying, and the value after being minified are not required anymore. And so in that case, better, they are required, but the application becomes slower, so it's better require those files. And here in the validation form, I'm going to require this one. I'm going to separate for the other ones because this one is not going to be instantiated, so it's not going to be passed to this function or inject as any case. I think that is the same. Oops, and here I need this, and here I need this, and here I need this. Okay, I think that now we are done. Now I'm going to add a validation form also for the last name, and I'm just going to copy it because it's basically the same as before. So I can copy this one, in fact, and just change this to last name, and this one to last name also. And now I'm going to create an validation for email. So I'm going to say input, I'm going to say data dojo type, and I'm going to say digit equal digit slash form slash validation form. That's something that I don't like from Dojo. You need to write too much, and furthermore, HTML code is not minified. There's no way to minify HTML code. So that's why I don't like too much to work with HTML. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to work completely using JavaScript without HTML, which is better to me, but it could be a little bit difficult. I'm going to say here name equal email, okay, title equal email, and data dojo props. I'm going to say validator dojos dot validate dot is email address. So I'm going to pass in a validator to this validation text box. So it's going to check if it matched with this one, and then I'm going to say invalid message, and this is not a valid email. And I think that's it. Okay, and now I'm going to do that basically the same for just going to copy. I'm going to do that for I'm going to call age to this field, and this one is also going to change, and this one is going to be age. And the difference is that the validator is not going to be that one. It's going to be is in range. And I'm going to put at constraints, and I'm going to say min, which is the min value. I'm going to say 18, and the max value 100 years. So if your grandfather have more than 100 years, so it cannot enter to this to this form. The message is going to be, this is not, I'm just going to copy because I don't want to type. So this is not within the range 18 to, okay. I'm going to save, and we are going to view in our control, in our UI. Oh, everything okay. Everything is grown because the property is email cannot be written, and it cannot be written because we haven't require the Dojo validation or web validation. Let me see. Dojo validate web, sorry. So in here it should be Dojo / validate / web. Control Shift S, Alt Tab, go to oh, I think that I have one more. No, it's okay. Here, that's the problem. I forgot the comma. Now this one should be required, so it cannot be empty. This one also should be required, it cannot be empty. This one, for example, this one can't have any letters, and now it's not required. And this one, this is not a valid email, and for example, it cannot only have letters, it should have more than that. It should have an email parent, which is like that, and now it's correct. And this one also should be between that range. For example, I put 12, it's also if before the range. So in here now it's valid, and that's it for validation forms. In next video I think that I'm going to show you how to create those widgets without HTML, but only using JavaScript, which is shorter and is faster because you don't need to convert. In that case, what is Dojo doing is converting this HTML to a JavaScript, or using JavaScript, using regular expression, using whatever, using a parser, and convert this HTML to something like JavaScript, and then this JavaScript again to HTML, which is slower. And in fact, the documentation says that we shouldn't use too much this approach, because makes slower the entire UI. But I haven't found any other example, or mostly the examples that are in the web are in that form, in that way. So I hope that you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to click on the like button, and don't forget, if you have any question, don't doubt to call me, to let me a message at the bottom of the YouTube video, and when I can, I'm going to answer. Thank you.